standard 10 subject social science, and as you know that today we'll start a new chapter. It's called economic development. But before we start the chapters, I'll announce one thing, that at the end of this week, end of the month of July, in the last week, we'll be having the unit test, and in the test we have included the chapters 1, 2, 6, 11, 14. That's already we have completed, and the next one is 15. Understood? Now you just see that total 6 chapters are there. Out of the 6 chapters we have completed the 4 chapters, or you can say 5 chapters we have completed. Understood? Now only last chapter is remain, that is chapter number 15, economic development. So within this chapter we will complete it within 4 to 5 videos, that will complete this entire chapter. Now chapter number 15, economic development. So first of all we need to understand what is economic development, or whenever we heard the word economic, or you can say economic, it's related to, directly related to money. And second one is development. You know that what is development. There is a difference between development and progress, that we'll see in the later part of this video. So first of all, economy, it is related to money. You know that whenever the morning begins, so the morning begins with different people with the different views or different situations. For example, some people wake up in the morning, or you can say full of material pleasures, or you can say money, or you can say property. They will be having a worth of rupees property also. So we know that, so that morning is differently from the people, those who are struggling throughout the day, or you can say throughout the life, to survival for, or you can say existence. So why this thing is different? For example, many people, or you can say royal people, their morning begins with you can say rich and hot tea, or with the material pleasures, or you can say a huge bedroom, while some people are struggling for this kind of life. So how this thing difference, how this situation is arise, so that conclusions will come out to these chapters. Economic development. Nowadays what happen, each and every country wants to be developed, but economic development means what? The development not is related to only economy. The development requires in the social, or you can say changes in our lifestyle, or you can say the changes in our social change, or change in our lifestyle as well as in society, or each and everywhere. Then only we can say we are developed. You know that the difference between developing countries and developed countries, it is also difference. That is also today we get in the form of question answer. So today we will understand what is economic development. So our first question is that what is economic development, or you can say economic development. So whenever we understood these words, or we heard this word economic development, it means what we are saying that, or what we understood, you know that economically will develop. It means only economic development is not required. Within that we require the social change in lifestyles, that is also required. So what is the definition of economic development? You just see over here. First one we can say constant increase in a national income. Constant increase in national income. Second thing is that increase in per capita income. Now what is per capita income, that I will explain later part, or you can say you will understand after this topic also what is per capita income. Understood? And the third one is that change in lifestyle, or you can write also change in the living standard of the people also you can write. So constant increase in these 3 parameters, it is called economic development. You just see that constant increase in national income, understood, which is earned by the entire population of that country. Second thing, increase in per capita income, that we will understand after this one, and change in the lifestyle. Now we will understand these 3 segments that we want to economically develop. Now this is called economic development. But total income of the country. Now what is national income and what is per capita income, that we need to understand. Understood? So we need to understand first of all national income. Now here we can say that the population of the entire country, whatever the amount they will earn, it's called national income. Very simple. For example, in India 130 crore people are there. Out of that, nearly 18 crore people are working, and whatever the amount they were earning, it is called national income. Very simple definition is that about the national income. So what is per capita income? That is the different thing. Now per capita income. Now student, you must focus on this because we need to find out this by the, you can say, one formula. You can say per capita income. Whatever the amount, or you can say income earned by the citizens, or you can say populations of the country, that is divided by the total population, it is called, when we, the number whatever we get, it is called per capita income. For example, I will write the formula over here. For example, total national income, total national income divided by total population. So whatever, this is the formula of per capita income. Now whatever the numericals we get or number we get, it's called per capita income. It's very simple. You just see that total national income divided by total population of the country. Now you just see that total national income is, number of the total national income is too high. Understood? We know that our country is the national income of our country is too high also, but when we divided it by the total population, then our national income is drastically come down, and that is why we are come in the category of developing, not in a develop, because according to World Bank report 2004, the $75, the country is having the per capita income of $75 less than that country is considered as a developing country. So that we understood what is national income, what is per capita income, what is the definition of economic development, or what is economic development. These all things we have discussed. Now another thing is that change in the living standard of people. Now change in the living standard of people, it means what? The changes in food, education, health, facilities, transportations, other facilities, this all included in living standard of the people. But you know that it's also changed year by year, or you can say generation by generation. You just imagine that when we develop, or you can say when we got a freedom from the Britishers in 1947, at that time our national income is too less, our population is too less, and the facilities used by us, it is also too less. But nowadays in comparison of that, we develop a lot. Understood? That is why, because you know that there is a drastic change in the living standard of the people. First or earlier, we didn't not using the technology much, but nowadays what you know that the entire our nation is dependable on technology. It means in the form of technology we develop a lot. Secondly, in this para we talk about that when the constant increase in the national income as well as the per capita income after independence, we see that the scenario is changed. National income of the country as well as the per capita income of the country is constantly increasing after independence. If we talk about 1951, understood, our population is around 51. Before 70 years or before 60 or 65 years, our population is just only 50 crores or 51 crores. And right now in 2011, the last census held, in that our population is 121 crores. Understood? And now the next census was going to be held in 2021. So you just see that our population is also constantly increasing and our national income is also increasing. So that 3 or 4 things we understand over here. What is economic development? Okay, the definition of economic development requires 3 segments: constant increase in national income, increase in per capita income, and change in the living standard or lifestyle. So these things we have discussed. Now one numericals we right now we will discuss. It's you can say very dangerous, you can say it's understood by us. It means it's needed to understood by us. For example, national income or it is called GDP. crores in 2011 and 12. It increased to 1 crore 35 lakhs 67,192 crores in 2014 and 15. Now you just see students over here, the numerical is, we just see that the numericals, national income, it is called GDP also, understood. Now you just see that 87,36,039 crores in 2011 and 12. It's our national income in 2011 and 12. In just within 4 years we can say it's increasing, and just see that the numericals 1 crore 35 lakhs 67,192 crores. It means within 4 years we increase a lot our national income. So these 4 things we have discussed. Now we move towards our next question, that is economic progress and economic development. Now students, our next question is that a difference between economic progress and economic development. Generally what happens when we ask these two words, or when we pronounce these two words, is like look like a similar. Yes, these both the words are similar, but there is a thin difference between them that we will do today, and it's of 2 marks only. It means it requires only 4 points each. Understood? What is economic progress and what is economic development? So first of all, we need to underline these two words so we can understand easily. What's economic progress and economic development? In scientific reason, we can say that progress is limited while development is continuous. I think so that you have heard also. For example, our life, it means our height also. Understood? It means height, the person's height is increasing up to the age of 18 only. After 18, or the chances of increasing height is 90 to 95% is less, or you can say 100% it is less. But the development of person is continuous throughout the life. So that is why you can say progress or growth is limited while the development is continuous. Understood? So these two words we have understood by this you can say factors. But now the main difference between economic progress and economic development right now. First of all, economic progress is qualitative and quantitative. We need to understand these two words, qualitative and quantitative. I'll write it short so you can make the sentence, or right now we are making the sentence. Now you just see that qualitative and quantitative. Now we need to understand these two words. In which way we can understand these two words? Now first of all, we need to understand these two words. Now you just see that I have written the two words, quantitative and qualitative. I will explain what is that. Economic progress is quantitative while economic development is qualitative. Now these two words we will understand. For example, if you are going to market to buy something, understood? So first of all, what you see that according to that commodities, first you will check quantity. In how much quantity it is there. For example, 500 gram, 1 kg, 2 kg, like that. Second thing we check quality. Understood? So quality and quantity are two different things. That is you need to understand. So economic progress is quantitative while economic development is qualitative. Now second difference is that economic development is the first stage. Economic development is the first stage. This came into the first stage, and after the economic development there would be economic progress. So we can say a stage after economic development. Now here what happened? Economic development is the first stage, while economic progress is at that stage after the economic development. It means it's on to the second part. Now next one is that we can say that increase in agriculture production. It means now third para that we need to understand. For example, if I have a piece of land, understood? If I will be having the piece of land, in that piece of land the agriculture production is increased. For example, I have shown the wheat. Understood? The production of wheat is increased by the new research. For example, I will show hybrid seeds. If I will be having the you can say chemical fertilizers, so these things I will add it, or you can say some technological equipment, and the production is increasing. It is called economic development. It means new research will be added and production is increased. Please mind well, students. This is two heavy terms. You must have to listen carefully and understand. Otherwise, it is you can say very difficult to write the answer. Whenever the new research will be added and production is increasing, it is called economic development. Understood? Or you can say when the agriculture production is increasing, but in which way? The land is increasing. Agriculture land is increasing, so automatically production is also increasing. It is called economic progress. I will draw one diagram, then I will show you. But after writing this point, for example, new research. I written so small so you can understand. New research in a economy increasing production of agriculture. Whereas here we can say increasing agriculture production in increasing agricultural land. Now student, you just see that, for example, if I have one piece of land, understood, and in that piece of land I shown the wheat. Now that through that wheat I will be using the hybrid seeds, tractors, or you can say other technology, a new research will be added, chemical fertilizer, and I increase the agriculture production. It is called economic development. Understood? It is called economic development. But if I have a piece of land and if I purchase another land, understood, and I increase the agriculture production, so that is why it is called economic progress. I think so that you will be understood by these two diagrams. Understood? Here what I have added, new research, for example hybrid seeds, chemical fertilizers and other equipment. But here what I have done, I have not done any new researches, I have not added any new researches, but I have added one piece of land. Understood? So automatically the progress, or you can say production of that agriculture is increased. And the last one is that constant increase in the national income of developing countries. Developing, or you can say developed countries. National income. But here fourth number will be right. Developing countries. Developing countries, and here developing countries national income. Now you just developed countries, I have written it short, so I will make the explanation of this point also. Constant increase in the national income of developed countries, for example America, France, Japan, etc. Wherever their national income is increasing, it is called economic progress. Understood? While the constant increase in the national income of developing countries, for example India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh, like that, so it is called economic development. So we get this the difference of 2 marks, that difference between economic progress and economic development. Now how we can say that it's a developing countries and developed countries? For example, how we can say that this students is good in this activity and this students is weak in these activities? So on the basis of some criteria we can say that. So what is the criteria to become, you can say identify the country is developed or country is developing? Understood? For example, how we can say that India is developing, or how we can say that America is developed country? So there is one criteria I will show you. For example, according to 1 minute. Now, according to World Bank report, World Bank report of 2004 in that they have described that the country's national income, or you can say per capita income, not national income, you can say per capita income is less than $735 is called developing countries. I think I will repeat one more time that World Development Report of World Bank Report 2004, World Development Report or World Bank Report 2004, they have described that the countries those per capita income is less than $735, that country is called as developing countries. Less. Understood? For example, if I have put the $735, understood, per capita income. Now the countries will be having the per capita income is dollar, you can say 800, so that country is called developed countries. Or if any country is having the per capita income is like 730, so it's called developing countries. So this is the criteria, or you can say this is the one kind of line which divided the developing, or you can say developed. Get it? Okay. Now we'll move to the next point. Now students, our next question is that discuss features of developing economy. It is of 3 marks, or generally it's asked in board examinations that the features of developing economy is total 9. We'll discuss 9 or 8 today, but in exam you need to write 5 or 6, not more than that. If it is asked in 3 marks, if it is asked in 2 marks, you write 4 features, it's okay. Now, so here features of developing economy, it means how can we say that this is the developing economy? So what are the features? It means symptoms. It means these kind of things you can notice in the developing countries. For example, first I have written less per capita income. You know that in developing countries what happened? The population growth rate is too high. Population growth rate is high. So per capita income remains low. We know that our population growth rate is too high, so our per capita income is always remain low because the population is increasing. For example, in your family of 5 members is there. Now is that 5 members is constantly increasing, but the person, those who earning the money is only 1. So the per capita income is going down and down. Understood? Second one is that population growth rate. Now population growth rate, generally in developing countries what happens, the population growth rate is nearly 2%, or you can say more than 2%. Okay, so I will write here only 2%. But you know that when we just see that when we consider only 2%, the population growth rate of developing countries 2%, so it's not too much, but it's too much. You just see that if 130 crore population is that of our country and 130 crore our total population. Now population growth rate means that every year the 2% of that 130 crore is increasing. It means around 2 or 3 crore people will be added every year. So it's a, you can say, huge number that will be added in our population. Understood? Now third number, or you can say third features of the developing economy is that dependence on agriculture. Dependence on agriculture. Now, know that students, in developing countries generally the main occupation, or you can say that main occupation is agriculture. And generally more than 60% people or populations are involved in this activity, or you can say agriculture activity. And you know that whatever the amount they will earn and they contribute into the national income is only just 26%. The contribution of the people, those who are included, or you can say engaged in the agriculture activities, only 26% into our national income. So that number is also too less. Understood? Now we'll be having the fourth number. Our fourth number is you must have to watch carefully because it's a numerical and it is quite difficult to understand. Fourth number that we can say that unequal distribution of income. Unequal distribution of income. Unequal distribution of income. Now you just see that unequal distribution of income, it means what? In a, due to that you can say production, or you can say researchers or available facilities, the income is divided, you can say, differently. For example, if I write over here that rich 20% people, how many? Rich 20% people, that whatever the amount they will earn, they will be added 40% into the national income. Into the national income. You just see that amount, 20% only rich people, that will be added 40% into the our national income, and poor people 10%, or you can say 20% of poor people will be added only 10% into the national income. You just see that in our national income, the role of the rich people is high or important, we can say, because this 20% of poor people will be added only 10% in the national income. So that is why it is quite difficult. Now, our fifth number we discuss. The fifth number is unemployment. Now, the unemployment. So unemployment is also considered to the main features of the developing economy, because the ratio of unemployment is too high. We know that the unemployment in Gujarat we can say berojgar. In our country, you know that unemployment people's ratio are too high. For example, total 3% people of total labor are unemployed. It's two huge numbers. Understood? And generally the period of unemployment is too long. It means they will be unemployed during the longer period of time. So that is the, you can say, very dangerous situations for our country. And generally which kind of unemployment is seen in our country? You know that seasonal unemployment, seasonal, or you can say industrial, and educational. Generally these unemployments are seen in our country. Seasonal, it means that according to seasons they are getting the employment opportunities, rest of the year they are unemployed. For example, farmers is get the employment opportunities for 6 to 8 months in the year, remaining 4 months they are unemployed. Now sixth number or 6 features of the developing economy is that poverty. You know that poverty, it means the person who didn't get the basic necessity. For example, food, clothes, shelter, education, health services, medical facilities. These are not fulfilled by the people, or you can say person. This is called the poverty or situation of poverty. These also seem too high in the developing countries. For example, in our country, we just see that 26% people are living below poverty line. It means nearly 51 crore people are living in below poverty line. The number is too high. Understood? We just see that. Now, next or 7 features of our developing economy is dual economy. Dual economy. Now you just see that. What is the dual economy? You know that here if you want to remember these features, I will draw 1 or 2 diagrams, or you can say 2. Just see here, one face and here another. Understood? Now here one side I have drawn sad face and one side I have drawn the happiest face, or you can say that people is too happy and that people is too sad. To remember this point, you just remember these 2 diagrams. Understood? Now just see that what is dual economy. In developing countries, what happen? On one side, or you can say villagers are using the old machineries. You can say production is less. Their life is not, you can say, getting full of facilities. This is in one side, and on the other side it means cities areas. For example, Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, they will be having the, you can say, new production new production, sophisticated lifestyle, you know that the lifestyle is too different from the people those are living in the villages. So this is the 7 features that we have discussed. Now 8 number is that insufficient infrastructural facilities. Now students, you just see that what is insufficient infrastructure facilities. So for example, insufficient in the sense that facilities are not in good condition. For example, banking, we can say transportation and many more facilities. For example, electricity, communication, transportation or education. These all facilities are having less, or if they will be having, so they are in not good condition, or you can say well advanced. That is what is called insufficient infrastructure facilities. Now, and the 9th number is that form of international trade. Now just see students, here generally what happens, developing countries are mainly focused on that agro products. It means here what happens, what they are exporting, you know that only agriculture product. For example, India is exporting the only agricultural products. For example, a cotton cloth, or you can say cotton for raw material for the cotton cloth. They are providing cotton, or you can say wheat. So these agriculture productions are exported to the foreign countries or abroad, and what they are exporting, or you can say importing, you know that they are importing machineries, mineral oil, which the worth of that value that commodities is too high. So here we can find that imbalance between import and export. Understood? So here we have completed the huge questions. We can say that discuss the features of developing economy. Total 9 is there, but in exams you need to write only 5 or 6, not more than that. If it is asked in 2 marks, you just mention 4, not more than that. So students, here we have completed our first video of this chapter number 15 of economic development. Thank you.